Hello everyone, this is Otis W4IOD, and I put this presentation together after several folks have contacted me and said after contacting Yaesu customer support, not only in Cypress, California, but Japan, that utilizing the SCU-19 and the SCU-20 cable for the HRI PDN setup on Windows 11 is not possible. There is a prolific chipset driver issue according to Yaesu, and you should utilize Windows 10. So, some will ask why. I ask why not. I refuse to accept no as an acceptable answer. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. So my attitude in going into this project was I'm going to make this work. So this is how I was able to accomplish the Portable HRI PDN setup on Windows 11 Pro, utilizing the prolific chipset in the SCU-19 and SCU-20 cables. This has been tested and confirmed working using an HP and several Dell computers here, with the FT2D, the FT3D, the FTM100, the FTM300, and the FTM400. So hopefully this will help some folks that are using Windows 11 and have been told by Yaesu that it is not supported. So first off, let's cover some history and what I've tested and my results here. First of all, I have not tested the prolific drivers found on Yaesu's website. I had hoped that they would put forth an effort to develop another chipset cable such as an FTDI, but to date that hasn't happened to my knowledge, and I have tested pretty much all the Windows 10 and 11 official drivers, all versions available to date of May 2022. Secondly, Prolific does state their chipset is supported through Windows Update with Windows 11, and I found that to be a true statement. However, Yaesu states that the WiresX software isn't compatible with Windows 11 due to the official driver, and I pretty much found that to be true as well. So at this point, let's do a point of clarity. I started my endeavor October 9th, 2021, when there was no official Windows 11 prolific driver, and through my testing discovered an unofficial workaround. So with that said, here's where we are as of May 2022. If you install the Windows 11 driver, it installs correctly, and the device manager shows that in fact it is installed properly and it is working properly. I found that the issue is when you launch the WiresX software, it will ask you to select the proper COM port, which I did, and then it states no valid device. So you're stuck. Or are you? All right, let's start off with the resources. First of all, the official Prolific driver information directly from Prolific can be found at the URL on the slide. And I have included that URL in the description of this video. If you folks would like to check that out, that is Prolific's official version for the driver for Windows 11. And for you that would like to install the driver that I'm using here, it's the Prolific 3.8.25.0 directly from Microsoft. They have a link, but please keep in mind, this is not a standalone installer. You will have to unzip these files to a directory, and you'll probably have to create that directory and manually point to the directory when updating the driver for your cable. I've selected on the next slide the proper driver with the red arrows. So that is the driver you need if you want to go this route. Looking at the slide, you can see the two red arrows, and it is Prolific ports, dated 7/12/2018 at 12 a.m. It's 3.8.25.0, and it is Windows 10 and later drivers. So that is the file you need if you want to manually install the driver without the standalone package. And then lastly, before we get into the step-by-step guide, Here are the actual steps that I followed. It's worked very well for me through Windows updates and daily use. And of course, this is the unofficial workaround, so don't expect anyone from either Prolific or Yaesu to acknowledge or confirm that this method works. It does for me here, and please keep in mind your mileage may vary. However, if you wish to see if it'll work for you, this is the step-by-step guide of how I have things working here. And I've actually had to go back and modify the presentation. Hold the presses, update May 13th, 2022. Yaesu has finally stated on May 13th, 2022 that yes, there is a workaround to use the SCU-19 and SCU-20 cables with Windows 11 PDN Setup if you want to go and manually install the driver. However, Yaesu has also said for you folks that don't want to do that, they are now willing to sell Windows 11 compatible new cable for the HTs of the FT2D, the FT3D, and the FT5D. It's the SCU-55 cable, and it's included in the SCU-57 kit. For the mobile radios of the FTM100, the FTM200, the FTM300, and the FTM400, it is the SCU-56 cable, and it's included in the SCU-58 kit. Check with your authorized Yaesu dealer to purchase. These cables will also require a new driver, and it can be found, according to Yaesu, on Yaesu's website under your particular radio's files tab. And there was no manufactured suggested retail price announced. For those of you that have the SCU-19 and SCU-20 cables that would like to keep their money and would like to try to continue to use those cables, the remainder of this Windows 11 guide is for you. On this slide, you can see I've pretty much just removed my personal information, and I'm showing that I am running Windows 11 Pro here. And on this particular slide is step 1. This is the message you get in Device Manager with the SCU-19 or SCU-20 cable attached with the Prolific chipset. PL2303. Do not support Windows 11 or later. Please contact your supplier. On to step 2. On this slide, you'll see the standalone driver package that I installed to get around it. It's the PL2303 USB to serial bridge chip. It's the 3.825.0 version. It is a standalone self-installer, and Google's your friend on this one. It's PL2303-prolific_driver installer V1200. And if you're unable to locate that, the alternate installation, go back and consult the resource section of this document. You will have to install this package first, so just follow the prompts. Do not plug your cable in. And then when you're finished, you're on to the next step. And I have included the screenshot of the driver self-installer package. That is exactly what it looks like. So go ahead and install that. And once you've installed the 3.8.25.0 driver, we're on to step 3. And this is how I selected it. You will go to the Device Manager, right-click on the cable, select Update Driver, then select Browse, My Computer for Drivers, and locate and install manually. And then you select Let me pick from a list of available drivers on my computer. And the window will open. You can see that there are 4 total on my computer in this window. And if you want it to function properly, do not install anything other than the 3.8.25.0. And I've selected the one on the screen that you need to install for it to work properly, and that is on the next slide. You can see by the red arrow, it's indicated the Prolific USB to serial COM port version 3.8.25.0 7/12/2018. That is the driver you need. And then select Next. After you've followed all the prompts and the drivers installed, you can verify that. And on my particular computer, it's COM port 8. Yours more than likely will be different, but on mine it is checked by right-clicking on the Prolific USB to serial COM port. So you're looking for the Prolific USB to serial COM port. That is the identifying factor. You need to right-click on that. This screen should open, and what you're looking for at the top is the driver tab. And there it shows it. Driver provider Prolific. Driver date 7/12/2018. The version is 3.8.25.0. And it's got a digital signer of Microsoft Windows hardware compatibility publisher. That's a mouthful. So you go ahead and close out of those windows, and you're on to installing your WiresX software and launching it. Configure it using your COM port. So whatever COM port that you check, that's the one you need to select in the software. Enter your node room information and other settings, and all should work. That's it. You're finished. So that's pretty much the guide and how I work around the Prolific chipset driver here with Windows 11. So we'll go ahead and tie ribbing on things. And again, this is an unofficial workaround, and your mileage may vary, but it works very well for me utilizing Windows 11 Pro and the Prolific chipset SCU-19 and SCU-20 cables. If you'd like to learn more, every Monday evening, the Bakken Amateur Radio Society Fusion Radio Net, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Central, and that is 0030 UTC. The MNWis WiresX room number 21493, also has a YSF reflector connected. US MNWis Romeo Delta November Tango, also room number 21493, or note if you will. Always learn more at hamoperator.com. Thank you very much for your attention, and good luck. 73 W4 IOD.